In the name of parental rights, parents, send your kids out of the room or avert their eyes. What I'm about to show you might upset your children. It might frighten your family. So I'll give you a moment. Okay, are you ready? This is a 17-foot tall statue of David, made by one of the greatest artists of the Renaissance, Michelangelo, in the early 1500s. Arguably one of the most famous sculptures in the world. And yes, for the record, David is totally nude. More than 1 million people visit the Statue of David every year. It is the most iconic piece in one of the most visited museums in Florence in Italy. And David's nudity comes with a bit of history. Soon after Michelangelo completed that masterpiece, he also made the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rome and the Creation of Adam fresco for the Sistine Chapel. Both of those works of art are also featuring nude subjects. When the Catholic Church caught wind of all the nudity, the church banned it, launching the fig leaf campaign of art censorship. Some members of the Vatican called for the figure of Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. They called for it to be censored. Nude figures in Michelangelo's other fresco there, The Last Judgment, those nude figures got underpants. His Christ the Redeemer statue got a permanent bronze girdle. And his renowned statue of David got a fig leaf. So that was the 16th century. Sometime around the 20th century, David's detachable fig leaf was finally removed. According to some historians, that happened in 1912. Now, today, in the 21st century, a school board in Florida appears to be channeling that 16th century fig leaf campaign. A charter school in the state capital called Tallahassee Classical. The school began teaching Michelangelo's masterpieces to its sixth graders, meeting a school mandate to teach kids in that grade about the Renaissance. But one parent complained that the lesson, which included Michelangelo's David and the Creation of Adam, along with Botticelli's Birth of Venus, that parent complained that the lesson was pornographic. Two other parents complained that they were not notified in advance that the lesson included nudity that might upset their kids. Seemingly inspired by Governor Ron DeSantis' parental rights/don't say gay legislation, that Tallahassee Charter School Board passed a rule last month requiring 2 weeks advance notice for parents of any curriculum that is potentially controversial. The chairman of the school's board, who wants Tallahassee Classical to be on the cutting edge of DeSantis' education agenda, he said parental rights are supreme, and that means protecting the interests of all parents, whether it's 1, 10, 20, or 50. In this case, the interests of the 3 parents who spoke up about Michelangelo's scandalous masterpieces, that was apparently enough to force the school's principal out of her job. Last week, the school's board voted that the principal would be fired if she did not resign over this Renaissance history lesson. In a statement released after news of her ouster was published, the principal said the chairman of the school's board was more concerned about litigation and appeasing a small minority of parents rather than trusting my expertise as an educator for more than 25 years. The thing is, Tallahassee Classical might actually already be on the cutting edge of Governor DeSantis' education policies, because just a couple of weeks ago, the Florida legislature introduced a series of education bills to expand the state's parental rights don't say gay law, which bans instruction in public schools on sexual orientation and gender identity and age-inappropriate content like nudity. Those regulations, which are currently in effect through 3rd grade, and they are now seeking to extend those regulations for older students as well. The governor's Board of Education is now considering its own expansion of the law through 12th grade. Teachers who violate the board's proposed rule could be suspended or have their teaching licenses revoked. The State Board of Education will vote on the proposed rule next month, so get your fig leaves ready.